Coming up on today's CODE Bet Weekly Daily AFL Show. That's right. We're talking all things round 7 of the AFL, breaking down every single one of the 9 games. I can't wait. I've got a big look at Carlton West Coast and a bunch of other ones. Stats guy, what's your favourite look?
Yeah, I think my beloved North are going to get smashed by the D's and Matty Rowell to step up for the Suns.
Jeez, what about you, Alex?
The City Westlink Championship in Sydney.
Brutal. Either way, we're talking player props, game picks and best bets for every single game this AFL round. You better check it out because it's really good and footy's back. Welcome to CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL. It is time for round 7. Are you ready, gentlemen? This is an absolute belter of a round, said nobody. No, there's a couple of good ones in there.
Games.
I'm your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website. What do we call it, Stats Guy?
CodeBet.com.au.
Nailed it.
Hey, well done,
CODE Bet.
Stats Guy.
Been practicing.
I'm joined by the one and only Punter Sapunting. There's actually 2 of them.
Puntis of
Punter
Ponting.
Sapunting. Actually, it's not a bad idea. The Puntifs of Ponting. I like that. You are priests in the church of Ricky Ponting.
You've turned a
I like
blooper
that.
into something that
I'm going to roll with this. I don't mind this. Either way, we've got Alex Donnelly over there. He's still having a sook about Arsenal, but at least he's here.
It's actually been better than I thought.
Yeah, no, it's you know, you come up against the eventual champions. Like, in fairness, after like 2 minutes, I'm like,
I don't care.
we are
Stats
screwed.
guy, what's going
I'm
on?
here. I also am sad, but for different reasons.
Yeah,
and North
because
Melbourne.
you lost to Brentford, North Melbourne lost. You did your ankle in your first game of footy yourself.
Yeah,
It's been a bad week for Stats.
He's
No,
also
I'm
just
still-
he's just sad, but that's
still
fine.
happier.
This is CODE Footy's back daily
Yeah.
because I do
It's
love
back again. Can you
even
believe
old
it?
mate. She was like, "You keep saying footy's back." I'm like,
I've been
That's the
because it's
joke.
back.
It's back again.
We've had
It's
2
still-
days off.
I know.
It's still back. Anyway, this is CODE Bet Daily AFL Weekly. I just had a stroke. AFL Weekly. And we're going to look at every single game in this round.
Yeah,
Last week, we had to split it because of Anzac Day. We
Yeah.
had it in Monday's show.
How good were those games, by the way?
They were
awesome
awesome.
game. 2 of the best games of the
Exceptionally
year.
fun games. Essendon and Collingwood was an absolute belter. So today we'll look at a player prop, game pick, best bets, everything for every single game. We'll break all of them down. But before we do that, to recap last week's results.
This is my favourite part of the show.
I'm crushing it on the tips.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
6 for me. 7 for Alex and the stats guy.
I shouldn't have tipped North. I got 8. I should have
I
had
know.
9. If I tipped Gold Coast without...
And I told you, your
I know,
team
I
stinks.
should have had 9 anyway.
We've
I'm
all
still happy
learned a
with 8.
valuable lesson there. Don't tip North.
Yes.
I was about to say,
I'm
don't
not
tip our own teams. We all lost. We sucked.
I think I tipped North as well last week, and that's
you
what
did.
hamstrung me.
I
Right,
tipped the
so
Swans.
every game pick, player prop, whatever we're going to talk about. Let's get into it. Friday night, stats guy for some reason has written St Kilda versus Essendon. It's actually St Kilda
First of all,
Port.
you were missing games in the rundown.
you guys can
and
do the
then
run
you ran
sheet
the
for
wrong
once.
team.
I always do
We
the run
actually
sheet.
have work to do, kid.
Oh, my God. My job
guy-
doesn't say run sheet on the
Run sheet
I'm
guy.
not covering that.
Run sheet guy. That's what you are.
I'm not covering
You're not
that.
doing stat of the day. You may as well be run sheet guy.
Anyway, St Kilda are $1.50 favourites against Port, $2.80. The line is 13.5, which is where
Point.
I'm landing, I think, on this one.
About right, yeah.
Over under the 156.5 points. This is top of the ladder, St Kilda.
Can't believe you're saying that.
It is a weird phrase.
It is.
I'm going to be honest.
They're
Port,
still
though,
doing it without half their list.
That's the craziest part, right? They've still got a raft of injuries.
We've got
They've-
Memory and Steel back who are 2 of their
Yeah.
guns, but yeah.
They got 5-1. They're playing 4-2 Port, where you go, wait, Port are 4-2.
I thought they were 3-3. I was convinced they were 3-3.
They won 3 on the trot. But the thing is, with this game, it's one of those absolute classic,
This is yuck that it's a
Really?
Friday night as well.
it doesn't feel like a Friday night game.
I think
But
it'll be a good
Feels
game. I think
like
it'll be a good game.
Saturday 4:40.
it should be good, though, because Port have beaten the Saints in 11 of the last 12. Port have covered the line 7 straight at Marvel, but not only that. In 8 of the last 10, I believe it is, they've either covered or won. And
At Marvel.
At Marvel
At Marvel, you're
specifically.
talking about? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they've covered. Yeah, 8-2. Jeez, that's an excellent record.
That is very good.
Absolute chaos. It might be just one of those things where like rubbish teams tend to be the home teams at Marvel
North
at the moment.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of
we've
years.
been in there a couple
And
times.
Port have also had their moments where they've been quite good. So the tricky aspect of this is then passing out, right, the Saints' form versus Port's record at Marvel. Very clearly, they don't mind playing there.
Yep.
Port, that great record against the Saints. As our esteemed buddy Jason Dunstall has pointed out, the Saints have also just been rubbish.
Yeah, the
in
last couple of years they've been
So
poor, yeah.
How much do you read into that last 12? Don't know. But the thing is, the matchups that they play
like
at Marvel.
7-8 years. It's not just it's like you play once a year. It's like some years there's 2, some years there's 1. It's like
there's also the case though that they've only played a couple of games actually at Marvel, these two.
Yeah.
Like they've actually really spread it out. Like they played this game in Darwin.
Wasn't it like 4 goals?
Oh no,
18
Cairns. It was in
last year
Cairns last
Wasn't
year.
it 4 goals 18 last year or something?
Yeah, they kicked
that was when it
31
was
31 points I think
humid and
between
wet.
the two of them. It was gross. Anyway.
That was a Saturday night game.
So they sort of spun this around all the way around the country. So when they've played at Marvel, it hasn't, it's a bit tough to read into the form guide for both of those sort of stats. The way I sort of look at this more so is that the Saints' best defense in the AFL at the moment.
You know those clamps you keep talking about? It's
I want
clamps.
to use these clamps. These clamps that I use every day of my freaking life.
Yeah.
You're a freaking idiot, you freaking moron.
Well, I was going to say the Ross Lyon chokehold. Just Roddy Piper just
Go to sleep.
Sorry,
But
Gerald.
this is it. 59.5 points per game is all they're allowing. Port aren't
crazy.
exactly blowing the doors off teams.
They're just winning.
100%. And this is why the under is very clearly my favourite bet for this one. It's 158.5 points.
This under for the over-under for the Saints game is just going to keep going down every week.
ducking.
We're going to get to like 97 soon.
Like you saw them strangle Carlton last week, especially in the second
Only
half.
60, I think we had them 60 points.
They were never losing that game, St Kilda.
No,
if
they never
you,
looked
if you
up.
paid close attention, you're
They're
like,
up by that much like the whole
I believe
way.
Carlton kicked 2 goals in the second half, which is horrible. Anyway,
That's horrible,
I'll talk and cry about Carlton later. But Jack Sinclair, still crushing it. He's my favourite player prop there for the 30-plus disposals.
Yep.
$2.50, which feels pretty. I think that was with Bet. He's been incredible. Over 28 disposals a game. He's gone over 30 twice already. Let's go. The only cause for concern is that I believe Power have the second fewest disposals per game out of any of the teams on both sides, right? Letting the opposition and themselves. So it's not a really massive high possession game, which is what St Kilda are all about. But Sinclair is a big part of this. I think he'll run a bit rampant. Give me the 30-plus.
Yeah, he's a gun.
And Finlayson, last week, this is my big goal-kicking bet for this one. Charlie Dixon, out in round 6, out for this one seemingly in round 7. He stepped up last week, booted 5 against the Eagles. I think Alex could kick 5 against the Eagles at the moment.
Oh, don't know.
hey, I was a pretty good power forward back in the day for Manga Plakukadini United East Lakes.
What?
Again, those words make no sense.
That's the longest name in the history of sport.
If you ask him, he'll tell you about the time that he nearly kicked the ball into a bucket once. But anyway,
Kick for cash.
he's going to find it a bit tougher going against the Saints, Finlayson.
Yeah.
But that's why you can drop it down to 2+ goals and it's still $2.30.
I was surprised it's $2.30.
I love that. That was with Bet
Connor
365.
Rosale
So.
hit the board again too. He's been doing it week in, week out.
So if you read my full, very long, extended,
You got to get
excited
100
about
bets
this.
at a time.
extended preview of this game, I do talk about Rosie and Butters.
They're going
And I feel
really
like
good.
They are the two key aspects of that power team. And I even threw Ollie Wines in the multi.
Yep.
Either way, you can break that down in its entirety in the article.
Yeah.
And basically, it came out of this. My first initial point was Saints 1-39.
Yep.
That was the final tip I came down to. Now I'm at the power of the line with the plus 13.5, just because I think it's a tight game. I think the power can stick with the Saints. And the Saints, look, we haven't really seen them just run over the top of like another kind of
I was about to say they
half-decent
did it to
team.
Essendon at the MCG.
It's the G, though. This is these weird
And it
things
was
when
their
they play at
150th
Marvel.
anniversary. It's like, we're up
We're
and about.
up and about.
Jack Higgins!
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be
Mala was
a bit
fun.
tricky, a bit weird, and I'll take the Saints to win it, but I think it sticks in close. What about you there, gentlemen?
I'm going, Saints as well. I just think their form's too hard to go past. I know that the Power are 4-2, but they did just beat West Coast 2. Everyone's going to beat. And
Shouldn't have beat
Dixon
the
is a big out, I think, as well. I know Finlayson, I think he should get a couple of goals, but he's really consistent. They've got a few inconsistent
They
players.
did shut down the Twin Towers last week.
They did. So, but I think I can't go past Saints. I think they're going to win at Marvel.
Yeah, I'm Saints as well. But Port at the line in the unders, $3.60. So
Yeah.
about 13.5 in the unders.
I agree with
That
the
mix,
unders,
it's going to be a painful game to watch, but it's going to be one of those, if you love the contest of football.
The
it's
contest.
that. If you just want to see, some really good skills.
Some headbutting.
And whatever else, don't look at this game. This is going to be a lot of tackles, a lot of clearances.
I don't mind that.
Friday night at Marvel. Just what a marvel it's going to be. Saturday.
Saturday.
Who's got Brisbane Freo?
I've got Brisbane Freo. So we got Brisbane $1.13. Of course, at the Gabba, Fremantle $6.20. The line is the line is 36.5, which is obviously a big line. Brisbane love playing at the Gabba. Over under is 174.5. which is quite high when you've got one team's going to smash it. But I don't mind
They
that.
could kick that themselves.
Yeah,
as Jim would say.
Brisbane just could kick that themselves. As we've talked about every week, the Lions are really good at the Gabba. Brisbane are 31-5 now, if including this season and the past 4 seasons at the Gabba, which is unbelievable. They've beaten the D's and Pies already this season at their home ground, which are 2 flag favourites. And Freo haven't won at the Gabba since 2016, and they've played, I think, 5 or so.
And that also includes the COVID games.
It does. So they just don't like playing there. Freo have dropped off.
It's the longest flight in the AFL. They will complain about it at some stage this week.
Or someone will. Some journalist.
And I'll just be like, hey, you've had 8 days off. Shut up.
But yeah, Freo have dropped off a cliff this year. They were top 6 last year. They've been smashed by the Bulldogs, relying on Sarong in the midfield too much. Brayshaw was almost a Brown, though. Favourite last year, he's dropped off a little bit. Sarong is their only midfielder that's been really consistent. Don't have a consistent forward as well. Tabernar's out, he's a big out. And Frederick, I know he's not your star player, but he always gets a few goals every week. He's also out. So
Tabernar's having back surgery, I think.
Yeah, I think he is. So there's a few guys that are out for a while.
He was your Coleman pick as well, I believe. So.
He was my leading goal kicker
for Freo, not Coleman.
Yeah. Close.
Yeah.
Close.
Which is not hard to get leading goal kicker for Freo.
Not at the moment.
They don't kick many goals. Anyway, I'm going to our podcast favourite, Chucky Cameron, 4+ goals. He kicked 7 last week, which was a Manuka Oval record. It's got 20. There's probably not that many big bags at Manuka.
No.
But there would be a couple. 7 goals last week. He's kicked 20 goals already this year in his 6 games. One of the fastest players in the league. Freo have a very tall backline. I think they've got a lot of slow guys like Pearce and Cox. And
if he wasn't captain, would he be playing? Who? Pearce.
Oh, I'd
drop him.
I don't know about him. He's a good one-on-one defender. He's too slow, I think. So I would probably drop him as well.
Tough.
Chucky Cameron also loves playing against Freo. He's kicked 12 goals in the last 4 times he's met them. So 4+, $4.50 I really like. And then Jordan Clark, just a bit of a shining light for Freo. He's been a really good recruit for them since he came over from Geelong. Only averaged 12 touches at Geelong, but now he's playing half-back for Freo and he's averaging 21. So,
plenty of ball to get.
Plenty of ball.
It helps getting a game and,
Since he's moved, so even last year he averaged 20 as well. So that was when they were good. So, he's going to get more of the ball. I think they're going to get smashed. So he's a good kick, good pace out of defence. He'll get a few touches, 20 plus $1.90. Then I just like Brisbane at the line. Lions, will kick too big of a score for Freo. They don't have any forwards that can keep up with them.
It's so hard to see Freo keep up with this.
Yeah, so that's why
it's hard to see Freo kicking more than 8 goals.
Now that I'm sort of talking myself out of the over a little bit, but just because I don't think Freo can kick a big enough score to help that over.
So
I think it could be like a 110-60 sort of.
Yeah,
that's still
that
under.
has you 4 points short. So
yeah,
it's
so
not that bad.
That's why I think I might go the under in this one, and then that Lions at the line. I just think they can absolutely. Freo have looked horrible.
Yep.
I can't believe they're playing this bad. So
I could see Brisbane kicking 25 goals.
Yeah, 25. Jeez.
47 goals.
But yeah, I'm going to go the under, just conservative. I don't think Freo can help that over.
The tips.
Brisbane
by a lot.
Yes.
All right, Sydney Greater Western Sydney, the Battle of the Bridge, but not the bridge that you'd think.
Check out the full preview on codebet.com.au once Jim's edited it. I've given the game a couple of new names that it really should be. The battle for the M4 being the leading contender right now. The Swans injury list sucks. Like, seriously.
It does, yeah.
Franklin's not going to come back. Either are the McCartans. Tom Hickey's going to play another week in the VFL, and Dane Rampy's still out. Robbie Fox gets concussed, yet, Mitch Duncan doesn't get a week, whatever. And Matt Roberts both got injured last week. So, as Jason Dunstall said this morning so eloquently, if the Giants were any good, they'd probably win. Shame is, they are not. They've also missing on their best player, Sam Taylor, best defender. He is down with a massive hamstring out for the next 3 months. The good thing for the Swans is they've still got their engine room. So you've still got Laddams in the ruck. I know he's not a great ruckman, but he'll have it over the Giants. You've still got Papley, Haney, McDonald up forward. You've still got Errol, Chunley, Luke Parker,
on paper, it's a
Haywood,
very good team,
McInerney. Like, they've still got enough to win some games. Like, hindsight, why the hell did I tip the Swans last week against the best forward line in the competition? Like, seriously, that was a bad idea. But you just got to sort of give up that game and just move on. It was just pathetic. Yep. Simple as that. The Swans have only had 130 plus points kicked against them 4 times since John Longmire took over. 2 of them have been this year. Geelong and Melbourne.
Jeez.
Yeah, wow.
But we go into this.
That's not a good start.
Yeah, so now we go into the game. The Swans have won 9 of the last 10. Obviously, one of them was by 2 points. GWS have failed to cover in their last 5, so that's not at all ideal. But in the last 6 at the SCG, the Giants are 4-2.
Ooh.
So the Swans smashed them last year at the SCG late in the season, but also there was a belting during COVID, which was across in Perth.
To be fair,
I think there was another one up in
probably.
Queensland.
There was a couple.
So there was two finals wins at the SCG actually, and then there was just one during the year, which was just, I think Toby Green pulled it out of his backside in the last minute.
Yep.
But in the last 4 games between the two, they got over this weekend's total. I reckon the over's a bet because if we get
Isn't it a low total points? Yeah.
It's only 148.5.
That's
so I'm
crazy.
pretty keen on that because I think there's just going to be a lot of run and carry. John Lamar just like, why don't we just run it again? Like, it worked last year. It's worked when they've done it this year. So why not do it again? Move on to Luke Parker. He dominates this game. He's been best on ground in 4 of the last 5. The winner gets the Brett Kirk medal, even though Brett Kirk has nothing to do with Greater Western Sydney. But
He coached, I think, for like, it's
Why
a bit
not?
it's a bit of a weird one.
Sure.
Greater Western Sydney legend Brett Kirk.
Yeah.
right?
It's like, let's just name. Oh, he lived in the city. No, well, he lived in the
Let's
city.
name after Buddy or
No,
something.
he lived in Glebe. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
That's why. But he's had 55 touches and 5 goals in the last 2 games against the 2.
Luke Parker, wow.
25 plus $1.68. Anytime goal, $2.50. This has him
Ooh.
just streaming out of the middle.
I like that.
Long bomb.
Yeah.
He's known for that. As I said, the loss of Taylor is big for the Giants. Frees up Heaney and McDonald, which probably means Harry Himmelberg may have to play back. Doesn't help the Giants kicking a score. But Toby Green, he's kicked 28-24 against the Swans.
28-24.
Robbie
Jeez.
Fox and Tom McCartan were probably his matchup. You'd think Will Gould goes to him, but he could probably get out the back here and kick a few goals. Three goals plus at $4.25. It looks a good bet. But this game, very tricky. Not many people other than me will be watching it.
Yeah. That's why I kind of like the line for GWS in this, just because I think it can get scrappy. I think GWS just scrap teams randomly.
Yeah.
Like you've seen to happen a couple
Last
of
couple
times
of
this
weeks,
year
yeah.
already. It's like, they're
The
just
teams that
gonna
are
gum it
able
up.
to transition against them quickly,
They've
catch
also
them out.
They've also looked horrible. At
Yeah, I
times.
think
So-
they've been bad this year.
But at the same time, Sydney got absolutely bluted. So, don't know. It's
Bluted.
tricky.
Yeah.
But I'm still going Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah, I'm going Sydney as well. I think I said to you before, is it the first time a team has been $1.23 favourites after a 93-point loss?
Yeah.
Probably, yes.
Probably.
All right, Bulldogs, Hawks.
Yeah, this one's me
Aunty's
as
back.
well. Yeah.
Back to back.
2 in a row. Bont's 200th. Yeah, so this will be all about Bont for me. The Dogs have won 4 of the last 5 between the 2. So the positive for Hawthorn, it's the greatest non-game plan ever. Show a lot of fight, but still find a way to lose
Yeah. They've
when
actually
you're
been
going
good
for
the
the
last
number
couple
1
of
draft
weeks.
pick.
Yeah.
I believe the phrase is, that's good tanking.
Yes, that's tanking without tanking. Like not having James Sicily on in the last 3 minutes last week. Great
Did you know he
idea.
had a go at Tassie? and they went after
Noted
his own?
Tasmania fan.
Yeah,
James Sicily.
yeah, and then he had to
Which also,
apologise.
why do you have to apologise for hating Tasmania? It's cold,
Well, he's the
it's
captain of
windy,
a club
and
that
it's
plays
boring.
there, but I don't know.
So,
If Tasmania were giving you a lot of money to not rag on
Yeah, no,
Tasmania
his
and then
job
you
is not
ragged
to,
on
yeah.
Tasmania,
yeah.
I think there'd be a problem
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you just
but-
ragged on
Yeah,
Tasmania, Alex.
but he's also like,
Do
I
you
don't want to
understand
live
how
there.
sponsorships work?
We aren't sponsored yet.
Yeah, but he
Wait,
is.
No, Tassie, the new Tassie team, we're going to get sponsored by
Hell
him.
yeah, the Tassie Devils, yeah.
Look, we're going to make Stats Guy move to Tassie.
Oh, no,
He's going to
Stats Guy
love
and
it.
Leo are going to live in Tassie
I'd
together.
rather live anywhere
Get a
else.
spot near Cradle Mountain.
Okay.
You'll live in a log cabin together.
Sounds good.
You can play AFL fantasy. It'll be
Yeah.
great.
What?
Just live stream your Twitch battles on AFL Live
G'day
23.
guys, I'm here again, down in Tassie.
James made us live in this log cabin for 6 months until we
Oh
clocked the
my
game. Like and subscribe below.
What is that voice?
It's you. Anyway, back to this game.
There's a game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3 of the last 4 between the Dogs and Hawthorn have gone under, and 4 of Hawthorn's last 5 as well have gone under. The under is 162.5. I'm locking that in at $1.90 because, well, Hawthorn can't kick a winning score.
The Dogs are just look. Ugh.
Yeah, so
Oh, they were good last
Well,
week. They were very good last week.
I mean-
I know it's Freo, but
Yeah, it
not
was
an easy
free.
game.
I'm still not buying into the Dogs.
I don't know. I don't mind the Dogs.
Hawthorn, high score of 80 this season. So lock in the Hawks, 69 points or less, hashtag nice, at $1.52. Bont, game 200. If Nick Dacos wasn't, a super freak, everyone would be going, Bont's going to win the Brownlow, Bont's going to win the Brownlow.
Yeah, he's still
He's
good.
had 156 disposals, 87 of them contested.
Wow.
51 clearances and 39 score involvements in 6
Is there
games.
anybody
not
else
bad.
on the Dogs? Like,
Libba wouldn't be too far behind.
He's out there Nelson
McRae
Munsing
had
it,
14
like-
clearances last week.
Yeah.
So they absolutely killed Richmond,
their
not
midfield's been
Richmond,
good.
Fremantle in the clearances. So Bont, 30 plus touches, big day, 200, get around him, $2.60. 2 plus goals, $2.60. McRae getting in and under finally. So, quick dish off handballs out there. 35 plus, $3.90.
Ooh.
Adam Treloar averages over
He's
30
been great.
touches
He's
a
been
game
amazing so
this
far.
season. He's played 5 of them, so 35 plus at $3.40. And I reckon this is the game where Jamara Ugle-Hagan goes, remember me? I was the
He's
number
good,
1
yeah.
draft pick.
I hope he goes.
I'm awesome. kicks 3 or more goals, $3.50. He is just, you can just see it watching him. He's going to rip a game to shreds at some stage this year and kick 7.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah,
these
what?
stats don't display how
What did he do
well
earlier this season? It was like 4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he looked
That
like
was
he was going
against
to
Brisbane
take
as well.
1,000 marks last week as well.
Nice.
But
He's
it's
good
just
player.
going to all come together for him at some stage. 3 goals plus $3.50 against this Hawks defence, which is quite,
Nice.
shall we say?
All right, speed it up. Let's go.
Western Bulldogs win by a lot.
Yeah, agreed.
Bulldogs.
I'm going Bulldogs at the line, yeah.
Nice. Melbourne, North Melbourne, stats guy.
Oh, I'll be there. I'm very, very,
That's
very
going to be in
worried.
the long room at the MCG.
I am, yeah. It's got
MCC,
some
sorry.
tickets to that. I'm very nervous about that, so it's not going to be good. Melbourne,
He's going to be in
$1.07.
his suit throwing his schooner at
Oh, I
people.
forgot to wear a shirt.
Oh, no, where's my tie?
I won't get in.
Wham!
Yeah, Melbourne $1.07, North Melbourne $9.25.
Whoa.
The line is 44.5. The over/under is 172.5. Now, as I was talking about earlier, Roos haven't won at the MCG
This
since
is funny.
2017. Now, we've only played there, I think,
Even
5
Brisbane
or 6
have
times.
won.
They haven't won a game at the
At the MCG
MCG.
since 2017. Yeah.
Not against Melbourne.
We've only played 5 or
A
6,
game.
but we've played
Amazing.
Hawks there a couple of times, lost it there. Anyway, that's really bad.
Yeah, okay.
Demons' dominant midfield and ability to score quickly can put a big score on North. That's why I don't mind the over. We, other than against Brisbane, have actually been all right on offense scoring, so I don't mind the over of 172.5.
Your game plan last week was terrible.
Our game plan has been horrible. Demons smashed North by an average of 44 points in the last 3 meetings. They beat us, by over 35, I think, in all of them, and the average of 44. So that's why I don't mind the line. Is that exactly that 44? So I think they can easily beat that.
Nice.
So I'm going to have a look at Melbourne, a Melbourne player who's on the rise, Jacob Van Rooyen, Roo, as they call him at the G. He almost got subbed off last week. Then he's like, I'm just going to kick 3 goals and
No, he's
take
like,
4
I'm gonna
contested
take a
marks.
mad pack mark.
So I've really loved his development really quickly. He's kicked 3-1 last week. He's kicked 3 or more against Richmond and Sydney. That's when Sydney had their defenders back. Richmond have a pretty solid defence themselves. So against our defence that has a
He was
horrible
on
game
Noah
plan.
Bolter, who's been drunk for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, but he's a pretty strong guy. We don't have anyone that can really match up on
He's
a
been
guy
on the
that's
Bolter
agile.
XPAs.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that was my joke.
But Van Rooyen, I think he's going to get 3 against us just because we don't have
Can't
a good
McKay
matchup.
throw him into the third row?
Well, even Mackay's been horrible for us. I don't know what's going on. He's just come back from injury, but he's been horrible. So 3+ goals for Van Rooyen, 375. I think he could even do that in a quarter like he did last week. And then just an underrated North midfielder that a lot of people don't probably talk about.
Never heard of him.
Tom Power, 20+ disposals at $1.90. He's had 20+ in 4 of our 6 games this year. He's been a bit outshone by LDU and Simpkin. Cunnington's dropped off, which has given Power a lot more midfield minutes. He's averaging 19 disposals this year, and he likes playing at the MCG. He averages 23 there. I think he's played 3 or 4 games. He averages 23 disposals, which is more than any other ground. So that 20+, I don't mind, at $1.90.
But really, the big question is Stevenson. Like, what are we going to get out of Stevenson? He's
Even
going
a
to be in
couple
the
more goals.
sleeves.
He's been
Let's
really.
go.
He didn't wear the sleeves last week.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's on the Gold
He
Coast.
still
The
kicked
humidity
2.
was
He's kicked 2
92%.
the last 4 weeks. So look for him to get 2, I reckon, as well. He's really good deep forward.
All right, bring us home then.
Bring us home. Melbourne minus 44.5. We got smashed by 43 against the Suns. Demons are a whole different breed at the G. If we can get smashed by 43 against the bloody Suns, we're going to lose by heaps against Demons. So I'm going to tip them by
Just
a
as
lot.
well you're going to be there.
Yeah.
In the long room,
That's
sinking
Yeah, I'll have to
tins.
have a few drinks, I think, to get through this game.
This sucks.
Yeah. Melbourne minus 64.5, $3.15.
Oh, don't mind
I
that.
hope it's not that much. Anyway, Demons are going to smash
D's.
North.
Jeez.
Nice one.
Did you just say North?
Demons are going to smash
I was
North.
about to say.
No.
So you're tipping the D's.
Absolutely.
Okay.
West Coast Carlton. West
Oh.
Coast $3.45. Carlton $1.26. The line is only 26.5. Which actually feels about right. And
Yeah,
the
it
over-under
does.
is
Just Carlton
172.5
can't put away
points.
teams at the moment.
This was 116 to 53 last year. And it was like one of those ones where you're like, yeah, I feel vaguely nervous about Carlton going over the West and playing. Oh, we're beating them. Oh, we're smashing them. It's good. Phew.
Yeah.
Because somehow this year, both West Coast and Carlton are worse.
Or West Coast because of injuries.
Yeah.
Carlton are just worse.
Carlton's-
West
Like,
Coast had their full team on. I'd probably tip them.
Me too.
But they
I
don't.
probably would. Carlton have beaten West Coast once since 2014.
Wow.
That's
To be
just
fair-
Kennedy's fault.
That's the curse of Chris Judd, that is.
That's a Christian.
You bring him over, ruins your side for a couple of years. No, I love
No,
Chris
he
Judd.
got a brown though. At,
He did.
Carlton. He played all right.
Individual honours.
You have to be pretty good to do
Amazing.
that.
There's so much team success. No, the curse of Chris Judd sending away Josh J. Kennedy.
Yeah,
bit of a tough
imagine
one.
that. Sending away a guy kicks
Sorry,
like
you gotta-
800 goals.
You got to give up something to
800
get something.
goals for one Brownlow, and you haven't had a power forward since who?
Fev.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Since Harry McFarlane.
the tricky... haven't had a power forward since we've had the last 2 Coleman wins. Carlton suck against West Coast.
I thought you just said
Carlton
that.
suck in general. I'm still picking Carlton in this game. West Coast are just horrible. There's some really interesting ones, though. In terms of like goal kickers, Oscar Allen, 2+.
He's going awesome.
He's absolutely
He's
smashing
been
it.
great, yeah.
It's one of my picks of me
Medium size, though.
a week or two ago. He's kicked 16 goals so far this season. He's absolutely crushing it.
That's awesome.
He hasn't
For
kicked
a team that's not
didn't he?
kicking many goals.
Hasn't kicked less than 2 all year. He's
Wow.
$1.68 for 2+ again.
a
Jack
lot.
Darling has gone 2+ 3 times already as well. He's at $1.98 for 2+ more. I think this Carlton backline, you could very clearly kick a score on them. We've seen it happen time and time again. We saw North Melbourne do it to them.
Yeah,
Like, Carlton love to play down to opposition that should be far below them.
it's true. Especially away this
So I dare say Allen and Darling do get amongst it. Durden on the other side. Now, Harry McFive is going to pop up again later. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, no.
So is Charlie Curnow. That's the trick. Curno's going to absolutely
Is Harry
dominate this one.
McFive popping up because he's going to kick 5 drop punts, or
No, he's going to spiral 5 into the. There's no roof on off
Into
the
Rosie,
stadium,
into
but he's
Rosie.
actually going
one
to
over
kick
the top.
those balls across into Ascot Racecourse.
He's going to kick it into Freo. Like, it's going to be gnarly. But Durden is like the one thing where he's basically just popping up for a goal each game.
He's been good, yeah.
And he's looked really, really up and
Yeah.
about. 2+, they need somebody else to step up and just
Yeah.
kick. And he is an absolute, just impossibly good goal sneak at times.
Yeah.
Against the lesser comp, I expect him to get out there, just kick a sneaky couple. $3.40 for that. In the midfield, Sam Walsh, 35+ touches. This West Coast midfield is going to get steamrolled. $1.83. Tim Kelly, 30+. That's what he does at
That's
the
a
moment.
lot for him.
$2.35.
They got no midfielders, so.
And Carlton's defensive midfielders stink.
You don't have any.
We have 0. It's meant to be Ed
All forward
Curnow,
run.
and he's been horrible.
He's going to
So
get dropped.
basically, every time that you see the opposition midfield play against Carlton, they have the run of the field, and even if it is West Coast and they sort of stink, there should be plenty of touches there for Tim Kelly.
Yep.
Anyway, Carlton, look, the 26.5 line, I'm still going to take it just
It's
because
short, yeah.
it's a bit short.
Yeah, agreed.
Carlton are better than West Coast. They should beat them probably by 5 goals plus.
I reckon
I
it could
did
be
feel I didn't want to go the Carlton 40+. I didn't even want to go the Carlton 1-39. I just want to leave it at the 26.5 point.
Yeah, I reckon it could be 30.
handicap.
Two
Because who
late
knows?
goals with the back door. When
Again,
you've taken 40. it's
North.
Yeah.
That's the North covering against the line against Carlton earlier this year.
Yes.
The over 169.5 as well. We saw the Eagles put up a bit of a score. If this turns into a big free
With
flying
Geelong.
one, off we go. The tip still Carlton.
Got to go Carlton. West Coast have got 15 injuries still, so.
Yep.
Take them.
Carlton.
Essendon Geelong, the Bombers, the Bomb Rays.
Huge game.
What was it? $3 to $1.43 for Geelong.
Battle of the Scots.
This is nice.
Who gets the big piece of chicken at dinner with
The
mum?
Scott
Oh, yeah, it's the
brothers.
Scots. Yeah.
There are more than one pieces of chicken in a chook at a dinner
No,
table.
but they're big guys. They just have
So
the whole
they're
chicken
gonna-
to
You've also
themselves.
got dad there and mum.
Shake out
and-
the other one. The line is 16.5. The over-under is 172.5. The Cats have won 4 straight against Essendon. Essendon have lost 10 straight against reigning premiers. I love that stat.
That is a great stat.
It's like, we lost to the good team. It's like, yeah, that's what happens sometimes when you're not very good. The changes, like what we saw from last week against Collingwood for Essendon, loved it. They looked incredible
Better for 3 quarters, yeah.
till the last 15
Yeah.
minutes,
I just
18
they haven't
minutes.
been in that position much, I guess.
And I think the emotional high of last week gets to Essendon. I'm very, very tempted, though, to still go Essendon in the line, the plus 16.5.
I'm looking at that, yeah.
But I think Geelong still pull this out. It's been 5 straight overs as well in terms of the total points for the Cats at the G. They do love just kicking a big score.
They do.
And Jezza, 4+ goals, $3.30. Big Jeremy Cameron, loves the G. We all know that. Tomahawk, he's got 43 in 16 games against the Bombers.
That's not bad.
I'm no math magician, but that's
A lot.
pretty good.
Yeah.
3+ goals is $2.90. Langford,
He was good.
only one who
He's
sort
been
of
great this year.
He's
yeah.
been incredible this year.
Yeah,
He
I couldn't
shows
believe
so
him.
much life in that forward
But
line.
it
for
also
the Bombers.
shows how much they're missing 2 meter Peter. They
Yep.
genuinely
Oh, yeah,
would have
he-
won that
he-
game on
Probably.
Tuesday.
You're right.
2+ for Langford's $1.96 as well. So I really like all 3 of those goal kicking bets.
Nice.
In terms of the midfields, you've got
Merritt's
Danger.
back.
You've got Danger. You've got Tom Stewart. I love those ones for the Cats. You're on the big wide expanses of the G.
Yep.
I think Stewart will get his hand on it a bit. 25+. He's gone 23, 24, 20, and 29 in his last 4. I think his average has dropped down because in that first week, he only had a couple of touches before
He
having
got
an
his
injury.
injured.
knee
Yeah.
went up, yeah.
But the 25+ is $2.02.
That's
Love
good, yeah.
that. And Danger, 25+. I feel like this is a big stage against the Bombers. Off he goes, 25+ again. That's also $2.02. So I like those two
Yeah, right.
a fair amount for Geelong. Essendon midfield, you just go Parish and Merritt. And away you go Parish Merritt.
Even Andy
One
McGrath.
word.
You can throw Shield, you can throw McGrath in there. Like, they get a lot of the pill. But Parish is $2.05 for 30 plus. Merritt is $2.80. He's averaging 30 basically. Like, what are we doing here?
That's a big.
He was
big
massive
price.
against Melbourne. He had 35 before he got suspended.
Nice.
He's gone 30 plus already twice this season. I'm tipping Geelong. This should be an absolute belter of a game. An absolute belter.
I think it should be a great game. Bombers, yeah, that's why I'm taking them at the line. I think Geelong can get it over the line, but yeah, Geelong haven't looked great. Bombers have looked really good, so Bombers at the line plus 16.5. I do not
I
mind.
feel like this is like a very similar to Collingwood Essendon last week. Like,
Yeah.
simple as that.
I think
right?
it's going to be close, and Geelong just there.
Just eke out at the end,
yeah, at the
and
end,
off they
yeah.
go.
That's what I reckon.
But my tip, Geelong,
Geelong.
probably take the Bombers at the line.
I think Geelong smashed them.
Okay.
What they've shown in the last couple of weeks after watching them up close and personally, like in the last 3 games,
They're sort of back, yeah.
they're not sort of back. They're goddamn back.
Cool.
They have smashed teams in the last month. They are back. They're going to win this 40 plus.
40 plus, wow.
All right, Richmond Gold Coast.
Yeah, I've got Richmond Gold Coast on Sunday. Richmond $1.38, Gold Coast at $3.10. The line is 17.5.
How is this the main game of the day at 3 o'clock and not Essendon Geelong?
No, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
This is the main game on TV.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Must be to do with the rights and things like that. That's very weird. The over-under is
Andrew Dillon's fault.
169.5. The Suns have actually won this matchup the last 2 meetings. I think one of them was
Yeah!
was a Noah Anderson after the siren goal, and then another one.
It was too. That
Yeah.
miracle. They kicked like 3 goals in 2 minutes.
They actually do like playing against Richmond. They beat both those last 2 meetings that they won were in Gold Coast. They're not a very good team.
Richmond
Melbourne-
have a terrible record at Marvel though.
Yes, that's what I was just about to say. They've got the like Richmond do. Yeah, Richmond
Yeah.
have a terrible record at Marvel.
Oh
but
yeah, we know you're going to say about Gold Coast having the
Gold
worst
Coast
record
have the worst
ever,
record of all time at Marvel. They've only got a couple of wins there in the history of their existence.
Richmond
so-
lost to your team last year at Marvel.
Oh, yeah, because we were really good. But yeah, I don't trust the Suns. I know they beat us, but we're nothing to North and nothing to worry about. So I'm going Matt Rao 25 plus in this one. He's averaging 21 this year. Tuke Miller is out injured, so who's their major baller.
that's massive.
He gets about 30 every game. So you add a few more touches for Rao, he will get even more midfield minutes. I think he'll have to stay in there. He's a very defensive midfielder, Rao, this season, but he's going to have to play more attacking. Otherwise, they've got no chance in this one. That's why I like
He
Rao.
genuinely looks like their next captain the way he's
Rao,
playing.
yeah. So he's a good leader, averaging 21. He's hit 25 plus twice this year. $3.15. I think he's going to have to lift his standards with Tuke Miller out. Dusty 2 goals. He's been a lot less damaging this year. Just doesn't look like himself. But
He had an almost night on
he
Monday.
did have an almost night. So someone said, he just wasn't damaged. Kick 1 goal 3. If he kicked,
But dead set.
change that to 3 goals 1.
If 2 of them bounced and got the right bounce, he's kicked 3-1.
There's been a couple of games where he's done that. Had a few chances, a few are out on the falls and things like that. So I think he'll straighten up this week. 2 plus under Marvel Stadium at $2.35, and then just Richmond 1-39. I don't trust them to have a big blowout against the Suns because they just haven't have a good record against the Suns in recent history. Don't have the forward line, the Tigers at the moment, to put a massive score. So yeah, but I think the Suns will fade late. Tigers midfield with Hopper and Taranto in form can win at least 1-39.
Yeah, it does feel like Richmond just sort of eke it over.
I don't think they can smash them.
Like the 17.5, I don't feel
I'm a bit-
confident in
yeah,
Gold
I'm a
Coast
bit
to
worried
even like
about that.
cover that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I feel like they win by 23
I
or
think
something
it'll be
just weirdly
similar
random
to
like that.
the-
You're like 23, sure.
Yeah, that's
why
similar
not?
to the Essendon Gold Coast game. It was a close all game.
Yep.
Then
Yeah.
Bombers sort of eked away in the last quarter. I think Richmond will do that as well.
If Tuke was playing and they just had like one good player somewhere else,
Yeah,
you'd be like,
Ben King's gone, right? But
they
yeah.
can, no, but like just like someone off halfback or something like,
Yeah.
they can win it. They're just
Missing a few.
until they get the
duns.
proper support, Gold Coast, they're just going to be like this. You're like,
Yeah.
you could, but
Just
Yeah.
out of finals every
All right, so
year.
the picks
Richmond.
are Richmond.
Gotta go Tigers, yeah.
Richmond.
All right, bring us home, Alex, at the
Oh.
big game at the end of the round.
Yeah, whatever the round is. What are we, round 7?
7.
7, sick. Adelaide, $2.30. The line, 7.5. Collingwood.
This is why we should have Sunday night footy.
Yeah.
Give me Sunday night footy for this game. We saw it at the end of gather round where it's a
Yeah,
little bit
it
of a
was
later
awesome.
start.
People were watching it.
It was chaos. Give us Sunday night
You would
footy.
also have, well, you're going to have 40 to 50,000 at the game anyway, but your TV viewership could be that much bigger if it kicked off like after the news because the news.
I don't know
lead-
why Australia is so afraid of Sunday night footy. So, we're not going to get into it. Just make it a big enough occasion.
Literally,
and
people are sitting at
will
home
go.
just watching TV anyway.
Yeah,
Awesome.
like if you kick the game off at 10 to 7,
Off you
a
go.
lot of people are going to be there. It's
6:30
like,
every
you know what?
Sunday,
We'll start
whatever.
half an hour early so the game can finish at 9:30 so you can all get home before work.
Yep.
Half of us work from home on Monday anyway.
Well, you do.
Yeah, we do.
So,
Yeah.
so does Leo and Gerald. There you go.
Half
There's
of us
5 people. Our whole building does.
It's
those
a
tradies
lot
are
of
listening going, we
generalisation.
have to
Anyway.
go onto the job site.
Yeah, well, that's their fault for being tradies. Anyway, this game's going to be absolutely awesome.
Look at this, listen to this latte sipping inner city.
The boots on.
Flat white,
Yeah,
thank you.
Rams.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Just city cowboy, they call it.
Exactly. Hey, I lived in Wagga for 13 years. I can wear them. Collingwood have won their last 6 against Adelaide, which, as we sort of said earlier about like St Kilda with Port Adelaide,
Yep.
Adelaide have been rubbish ever since that since Campgate. Collingwood are 5-2 against the Crows at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide has covered in its last 4 against teams in the top 8. The last 6 have gone over the total points line. And in no shock to anyone, 10 of Collingwood's last 13 wins have been decided by 15 points or less.
Oh, they just find a way, yeah.
Watching the games last weekend, I feel like the win for Adelaide was that, you know when your teams put in a really flat one, they put in a flat one and still got away with it.
Yeah.
And Collingwood did what Collingwood do. They came from the clouds to beat Essendon on Tuesday. But back at home for Adelaide, I'm much more confident about them. But Rory Laird apparently is not going to play. Came off training earlier today, injured. He's done his calf.
He's going to be named, but they're doing a test. Apparently.
So, yeah,
So
but that's not a good sign to begin with anyway.
No.
Matty Nix has come out and said, like, you know what? I'm sick of Nick Dacos having 48 possessions a game.
Finally, someone saying that.
Who have we got that's going to tag him? I don't know, but we'll find someone.
Everyone's hiding in the corner. I don't want to tag him.
I don't know what you tag him. No, you tag him.
The dude runs 14 Ks a game. That ain't me.
Yeah.
Anyway, good luck for trying. I hope they do, because it's actually going to be kind of interesting to see if they can nullify him. Because the thing is, if you do nullify him, you saw in the last quarter, you take him out.
Yeah.
Essendon hold on for a win.
Yep.
We get to some game picks. Darcy Fogarty, clutch goal to win the game on the weekend. 2 goals plus, $1.62. He's kicked 13 in 4 this year, 2 or more in all of them.
He's been great, yeah.
Jordan Dawson, the captain, $1.38 for 25 plus, but he had 27 and 32 in the wins against Port and Carlton. Only had 24 last week. Again, flat one. Jordan De Goey has had 25 or more in 3 of 5 this season, and all 3 of those have been wins. He's $1.95 for that. The forgotten Dacos, Josh.
He's a cut as well.
He's been playing so
He
well.
was awesome last week.
He was so good.
No one talked about it because
He's
he didn't
had
get the medal.
25 or more in 5 of his 6 games this year. That's $1.58. Ash Johnson, I thought this would be a bit longer, but he's only $1.28 to kick a goal any time. But he produced some long bombs on Tuesday, and he's a great mark and great kick for goal. But for me, the Adelaide Tools do get a chance to impact this game, with Collingwood only sort of having Darcy Moore being like their only tool. And I know Frampton was quite good, but it's like the Adelaide Tools are just that bit better than Essendon's. Langford did kick 3, so that's sort of like, well, Tex could get off the chain here, or D-Fog could kick a few goals, but Rankin, this is him. Stepping up on the big stage, his pocket. He kicked 4 against Port, 3 against Freo. He's got 13 this year, 3 goals plus at $3.45. Let's take it home, Isaac.
Interesting.
Collingwood too good.
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
Just too good. They love playing at Adelaide Oval. We saw it against the Saints. They run over the top of them, playing an Adelaide team that weren't wildly convincing last week. They can be as flat as they want, but this is also there's a middle ground, right? Where I think Adelaide are who we thought they were. Somewhere. They're better than we thought they were going to be, but they're still probably not quite as good as they were after that win against Carlton, I think. That's where I'm sort of landing.
So you're going with Carlton suck and Adelaide aren't that good.
Basically.
Yep.
And I'll take Collingwood to win.
Yeah, I'm going Collingwood to win as well. I don't mind Adelaide at that line just because Collingwood love a close game. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's close all the way through and then Collingwood kick a late one. So I don't mind Adelaide at the +7.5, but Collingwood to win.
The only different tip all week, I'm tipping Adelaide.
Have we gone the same?
We've gone the same in every
That's the
game.
first time we've done that.
No.
I'm tipping Adelaide.
Oh, that's shocking. I'm going to go back and change like 8 of them.
That's an option.
Gross. Either way, best bets. Quick, let's do it. Best player prop bet. Whatever you're feeling.
Isaac Rankine, 3 goals plus at $3.45. Lukey Parker, anytime in the battle for the M4, $2.50. And the Bond, game number 200. I couldn't care less. 30 plus, $3.60.
30 plus, nice.
Couldn't care less. You go play 200 games of AFL.
Yeah.
I have on the PlayStation.
I didn't write it in, but Matt Rao, I think, is my best bet. Without Tuke Miller, I think he's going to have a blinder 25 plus at $3.15. And then Carlton to cover the line. I just don't trust West Coast. I know a lot of people don't trust Carlton, but I think they'll fire up and get that -27.5 line.
Nice one.
Good stuff.
Well, the best bet of the weekend is very clearly.
I was hoping we'd just skip this part.
Harry McFive. Let's go, Harry.
He's dropped 6. Oh, because they're against West Coast.
They're against West Coast.
They're playing 5.
He's going to be on Ruben Gibney.
He's got $5.20 to kick 5 goals. He can't kick
He can't kick a drop punt.
a punt goal at all. He skyrockets one into the roof.
But you're still
Afternoon
what are we doing?
delight.
But the actual best bet player prop from that game is Charlie for 6+
Cool.
at 725. I
I
love
like that.
that. He could just have himself an absolute blinder. But this is it. If Harry's going to step up for one of them, it's going to be against horrible opposition like West Coast.
Like you did
And-
against North Melbourne. And we're like, Harry's bad.
And so there you go. 520 for Harry McFive. Charlie Kerno, 6+ to $7.25. I like both of those. All right, there you go. That's
done
it. Code Bet Daily Weekly AFL done for this week. Round 7.
Yeah.
All covered. We'll be back on deck next week
It'll be
to
you
wrap
two.
up everything. It'll be just us two.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be nice.
I'll send in my tips via email.
We'll
I'll
change
delete
them
that
all
email.
and away we go.
I will give them to Gerald because I trust him.
How did Alex get 0 this week? Shocking. I don't know. That's what you get for going on Holland Donnelly's.
Yeah.
All right. Subscribe on your podcast app and like, review, and star it, would you? Because this has its own channel on Spotify, and it's also just found in the podcast apps all the way sort of through the daily stream in every other app, I think. So either way, check us a follow on the socials as well: YouTube, Facey, IG, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch. We should have an AFL Live 23 stream between
I'm not buying that
Stats
game.
Guy and Leo pretty soon. It's going to
Also,
be great.
Stats Guy, when you go away, you're going to have to email your tips in every week or you get all the away teams.
That means you might be able to catch up to me. So we'll see.
Stats Guy!
Yeah, I'll just have a couple of weeks off for you.
You just got Stats Guy. All right, send any questions by the socials. I think that's it. What an awesome random week of footy this is.
Very
Right?
It's going to be a very strange start. Friday night, give us back Thursday night. What are we doing
I was
here?
about to say the game's average and then we get to Sunday, we're like, Essendon and Geelong!
And off we go. Even Richmond Gold Coast is going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
Either way, thank you, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, as always, for producing this schmozzle there, Gerald. And Leo over there on the socials. He's on it right now. Look at him. Thanks to me,
tap,
just
tappity
because
tap.
why not? What do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, may all your picks come in. Happy punting. Footy's back. Let's go Bet Daily Weekly AFL. Out.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.